Well, greetings everyone. Kevin D. Robinson here, once again, coming to you from the Underground Funk Lab, where, as you know by now, anything can happen, usually does, and probably will. I'm here today with the amazing Mr. Muhammad Mahdi, and he's going to share some information for you about some incredible things that he's involved with in life right now. And it's interesting that when you see somebody online that you know can deliver a message, and they can grab your attention within 27 to 31 seconds, which is the average attention span of most human beings. It kind of perks up your ears, and you begin to listen. Begin listening to this gentleman a while back deliver some things on the telephone, as a matter of fact, and then by way of the internet. And I said to myself, this guy knows some things. Maybe I should tune in to what he has to say. So we're going to spend a few moments with you here, and I'm going to let Mr. Muhammad Mahdi say hello to this illustrious audience.
Hey, dear family. It's Muhammad Mahdi. We're hanging out with Kevin D., the one and only Kevin D., right, from Atlanta, Georgia. And so happy to be here, Kevin. Thanks so much.
Great to be here. Thank you so much, Muhammad. Now, let's begin this brief dissertation. I'm curious to know about some of the people you've been hanging out with. And the reason I bring that up is this. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite online and offline mentors over the years, has basically said a bunch of things that make you think. And one series of questions he said you should always ask yourself is this: who am I around? What are they doing to me? And is that okay? So I'd like for you to share with the audience, if you will, some of the people that you've garnered in your circle or center of influence over the past maybe year or so, and just go run with that if you would, please, sir.
Wow. In the past year, 12 months, my circle of influence has completely changed, and that is a good thing. About a year ago, I came into this amazing community of people, and this community, by the way, is called Empower Network. And in this community, I quickly discovered that most of the people who were considered the gurus or the students of the gurus, they were migrating to Empower Network. Now, I had been a student of the internet since 2009, and I had done some things offline prior to 2009, and my whole focus was, who can I learn from? What group of people can I immerse myself in that have what I need in order to change my condition? So just to give you a few names, one of the people that I've been watching for the last decade is a gentleman that's out in California on the West Coast. His name is Franco Gonzalez, one of the penultimate online and offline trainers. Franco can deliver either way. And I latched on to him a good 8 months ago. And as the months have gone by, our relationship is getting closer and closer and closer. He is absolutely one of the people that, in my opinion, is a go-to if anyone is interested in doing a couple of things. Number one, positioning yourself with a brand of your own online, how to do that. Number two, how to develop residual income online or offline, and the tools and resources that you need in order to get that done. Franco Gonzalez is the man. Just a couple of other names. Very recently, in the last more like 6 months, right after Franco Gonzalez, there was another gentleman that burst into the scene beginning of this year. As a matter of fact, January of 2013. His name is Vic Strizes. And one of the reasons why I've spent a lot of time being a student of Vic Strizes is because he is a master of traffic. And what I mean by traffic is finding ways to attract, invite, and organize people, right? Whether it's online or offline. And we're finding that that is really what this whole thing of networking is all about. Your ability to attract, invite, and organize people. So just a couple of names that I can share with you.
I'm familiar with both of those names. In fact, I have met both of those gentlemen and have been amazingly impressed by each occasion where I've had to spend some time with these guys face to face. Now, normally when I ask the second part of that question, they've answered it in the first part because I can tell by the, I would say excitement, the purity in their first answer, what the answer to this second part of the question is.
Okay.
And that is, what are they doing to you? And the third part, is that okay? You've kind of answered, but I'd like for you to elaborate. What are these people doing to you? And you mentioned being able to glean information about building traffic online from Vic and Franco being the penultimate teacher online. That basically answers the second part of that question, because that means you're learning from these gentlemen. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the biggest things that I am learning is that my success has a lot to do with how much I'm willing to push outside of whatever the comfort zone is. Am I investing enough time in my learning? Am I expanding my warm network of relations enough? Have I gone to enough sources that have been recommended to me by either one of these guys to glean the other resources that I need? They have the how-to, and the other resource is, well, here's what you need to have in your piggy bank, in your treasure chest. These are the tools that you need to have. We'll show you how to use them. These are the tools. So all of this from them is pushing me, making me push the envelope. I guess that's the best way to and everybody needs to push the envelope. When you are saying to yourself, hey man, I've done everything that I could, or there's nothing else I could do with the time, that's really not true. And if we really check ourselves, and we have good mentors to help check us, we find out that there's always something more that can be done when you're on a journey to a specific destination.
Now, I just heard you say something that keyed me in to what we know in the industry as personal development. You talked about, I think I heard you say something about this helping you become a better you at what it is you're doing. That if I'm correct, those words didn't come out of your mouth specifically, but that's what you were alluding to. Can you elaborate? Okay, so being in this industry, is personal development as important or more important than the hows? And I heard you say something about we'll show you how, but without you having your personal self developing into a better self, can that be? Can you falter if you're not focused on doing that first?
I am going to take that question and use something that I just heard from Steve Jobs, a wonderful individual, just one of the world's treasures, right? They talk about living legends. This guy, Steve Jobs, has done so much for the world. But one of the things that Jobs said was, once you turn on to the fact that the thing that you are endeavoring to do has probably been done by someone else, which means that you're capable of doing it too, then it's just a matter, everything changes after that. And then it's just a matter of working on yourself. It's a matter of how much are you willing to do to evolve your own self so that you can bring the best out of you, because what you're endeavoring to do has probably been done by someone else who's living and breathing just like you. So personal development and getting that light bulb, whatever it is that is going to be your light bulb, getting that to come on, getting all your engines fired up, that is the real juice. It has very little to do with the resources. You'll find the resources once the motivation has been keyed up to the right degree.
Now, okay, Steve Jobs. Wow, this is you're name dropping a guy who started a company that kind of became a revolution, if you will,
Yeah.
with an idea. I mean,
Yeah.
when they first started advertising Apple, they didn't really have a product. Am I right? They came out of the gate with an idea only.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so interesting that you would mention that. Here we are in the 21st century, and we've got amazing tools at our fingertips. We have mobile communication devices now that allow us to mastermind and collaborate with friends and associates across continents at the speed of now. And still in this 21st century, right, it is taking just a very few people who are keyed up to what the possibilities are, just like Steve Jobs was in the 80s and the 90s. It's taking a certain group of people that are keyed up to what possibilities are to shake the rest of the world up to this understanding that, hey, right now we can move away from the drudgery of trading our precious time for $1. We don't have to do that anymore. We're not in the agricultural age where everybody had to go out and farm their little piece so that they could bring some tangible food stuff to the marketplace in order to exchange that for something else, either barter or trade or exchange it for money. We're out of the industrial age where we built machines to automate the manual stuff that we were doing. We're out of the information age where we built computers to give us a lot of different scenarios so that we could see at a faster rate than what we could come up with, so that we could have a number of scenarios to help us make decisions. We're beyond that. We're in the digital age now of information transfer, and this is one of the most exciting times because everyone on the planet has things that are mobile now that you can have in the palm of your hand that allow you to make an impact, an emotional impact, a thought impact on people that are on the other side of the globe in the present. We can harness the value of our own personal experiences, right, and turn that into readable, watchable, listenable content that other people can grab hold to, embrace, and then they can ultimately, decide they want to partner with you, that they certainly that they resonate with you, that they may want to partner with you, or even become a customer of yours. I mean, that's what Jobs did, and that's what we're seeing a very small group of people doing now, and we call this new era the era of global wealth networks.
Now, okay, you've whet my appetite even, and I'm in the industry, okay? So that's no surprise. Let not be a shock to our audience. I am in the industry. But listening to what you've just said to me makes me want to come into the industry again, particularly because I was listening to another mentor just the other week, and he mentioned this. And I want you to elaborate however you will, please. He said that, and this is documented, millionaires were created in our industry years before the internet became available to us all. In our industry, millionaires created. Now, if you think about this, in our industry, we had someone crack the $1 million day plateau in this industry. So that's kind of like the 4-minute mile, all right? So with all that's available to us, and you were talking about some of the tools available, attach that to your mindset being in the right place. Elaborate on how it is possible for somebody let me ask you this question this way.
Sure.
If I knew the details of a financial plan that is structured around some of the things that you told me about in this industry, would I get so excited about that I go all across the country, across the world, and tell everybody about it?
Not only that, but
you
wouldn't be able to sleep. And here's the reason why. We just talked about the different eras that human beings have come through in the last century. And, you know, 4 different eras: agricultural, industrial, information, and now digital. In the last century, that's happened. Now, prior to that, 100 years, there were thousands of years, thousands, tens of thousands of years where people had to, there were very few choices. And so now what's most exciting is this incredible time of technology and the human element, where we have technology right at our grasp, so the things that we're thinking can be projected in video, in voice, and in script to someone on the other side of the globe, like right now. And here's the exciting part about that. Instead of us having to ship things and worrying about, can we get it approved in this country? Will it be okay with customs in that country? What are the possibilities of it having some kind of degradation because it's been stored on the shelf too long? We don't have any of those things now, right? It has evolved to the point where people are transferring information that solves a challenge of someone else. The biggest challenge, the last frontier is how we wake the general masses up from this idea that they have to trade their time in a process to earn income. Now with digital tools, people are collaborating and masterminding and coming up with systems, listen to me very carefully, systems and project-based income models. See, it used to be job-based income, but now with digital, the age of digital information transfer, it's about project-based income models. Should I go on?
No, I tell you what, I am just engulfed in this because it speaks to the heart of what has happened, leveraging technology and leveraging the information that's available. You've married those two together now, and speed, okay,
right,
is like has the speed of light, and nothing's faster than that, and that's how fast we can transfer information and get paid for.
And here's the funny thing. The big thing is that it's happening so fast that a lot of people are just, they're not believers. So we've got the same phenomenon that we had tens of thousands of years ago, where someone used the existing technology that was available to them to understand that the world was no longer flat, and that navigation would allow me, I can now navigate and come into contact with other cultures and mastermind and exchange ideas and trade and do all kinds of things. Well, there was the majority of the world that didn't believe. And so now we have the same thing, that there's a very few, we call them the new rich. These are people that understand that technology now is going to be the thing that frees those who are aware, that are ready for the change. It will be technology will be the thing that will allow us to collaborate, mastermind, form project-based income models where we can assure ourselves weekly cash flow, monthly residual income, and more than enough to satisfy what our household needs are, and move into just complete time freedom.
Okay, so here's what, and I've heard you talk about this before, and I'm going to let you out of here on this. Most people want complete mastery of their time and complete mastery of their finances, and I'm hearing you say that they can partner up in this industry with those who know some of the basics and get that done for themselves in a relatively short amount of time.
Right. Here's the thing that I was just speaking about. It's so simple that it hinges now with the technology. Everything hinges on your ability to attract, invite, and organize. In other words, it has everything to do with your ability to build relationships and form networks. See, it's not so much sales anymore. People are thinking that they have to have all this sales acumen, they have to be business background, they have to have all of this in order for them to earn the kind of income that their family can appreciate. But it's not. It's a matter of using the technology to help us form wonderful relationships, global relationships, and organize those relationships into networks of people that agree on products and services that have value, take ownership of those products and services, and invite other people to come into the network to take ownership also. That's how the income is going to be generated with the new rich.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a part 2 to this incredible conversation, but I'm going to let Muhammad Mahdi give you his contact information so you can directly get a hold of him for part 2, and I'm telling you, he will be more than happy to share part 2 with you. Muhammad, how can people get a hold of you?
Fantastic. I've got a tent set up right on the riverbed. The riverbed of humanity is Facebook. That's the river. The river is Facebook, and I've got a tent set up right on the riverbank. My Facebook address is facebook.com/Mahdi, MAHDI .online. Again, facebook.com/Mahdi, MAHDI .online. Best way to reach me.
Folks, you have heard an incredible piece of information tonight from my special guest, Muhammad Mahdi. We're going to check out of here on that note and say, click the link below. If you're watching this on Muhammad's behalf or on my behalf, doesn't matter. Click the link below. Partner up today. You can't give Muhammad Mahdi or myself, Kevin D. Robinson, any good reason why you need to think about partnering up with us after what you've just heard. Come on, folks. The speed of technology, the leverage of technology, and being able to change your financial platform very, very quickly, more so than was ever possible in the history of mankind. Muhammad, if you have one more note to close out with, I'd be happy to hear. They would be too.
Kevin, the only thing I'd like to say is that I really appreciate your expertise, to have someone with your background and your expertise in videography, and not only that, but in broadcast and interviewing. I mean, I've watched you interview some of the people that you've been able to attract in front of your lens has been incredible. So it's a real honor for you to ask me to be with you. I see you doing incredible things, your broadcast being syndicated all across this planet in a very, very short period of time.
Thank you, Muhammad Mahdi. That's for us. That's it for us. As I always say, you be blessed, my friends, and have an amazingly successful day. Don't give up.